Welcome along everyone here in qualifying here in Chicago. 3 minutes away from actually start, well, 8 minutes away from actually green light in the pit lane. 3 minutes away from starting the broadcast, but we're gonna go all the way down towards the studio in London. Let's talk to Omi.
Thank you very much, Jaden. Welcome, everyone, here to the studios here in London, where we have got quite a lot of information. Now, we're in the commentators' room, of course. This is my home for Formula 2 this week. Jaden will also be here next week, and he'll also be here after for Qatar and Jeddah. So we've got to do this quickly, of course, as we don't want to delay your World Feed intro. So first of all, I like to stand in the commentary box. Most commentators like to sit. As you can see, we've got a chair there. So if I did have a co-com, there would be a chair over there. We've got two chairs further back in case I am not commentating and someone else is commentating and they need a chair. So we've got some extra chairs there. Also can be used for other rooms. Now, over here, we've got the driver standings. These aren't updated. So this was coming into this weekend. Harrison has 12 more. Harrison has 10 more points in terms of the drivers' championship. Jaden, of course, has 11 more points. He took the victory on the fastest lap earlier on in Formula 2. We've also got the driver information there. We've got driver stats right above. As you can see, Jaden has 12 wins, 16 podiums, 5 poles. Now, of course, that is upgraded after the sprint race earlier on, but that's sort of the preparation that a commentator would do as well. We've got the team's championship, which is very close between Trident, ART, Prima trying to get themselves in the mix as well, so that could still be interesting in the coming rounds. Now, over here, this is where, of course, I have my screen. This is the pictures that we get from trackside. I've got a few notebooks here in case I need to write something down. We've got a spreadsheet open on this laptop. Plenty of papers absolutely everywhere. And then on the other side of the commentary box, of course, we've got another notebook for the commentator. With this time around, we've put the stream pictures, of course, as I'm commentating alone, so we don't need to have the exact same thing. So instead, we put what the stream will be showing for Formula 2 on this screen. Plenty of paper there in case we need to print something out, and we'll need to go outside the commentary box if we were to do that. I think we've done a lot of commentary box tours. Of course, we'll maybe next time take it somewhere else in their studio. You'll see more of it when Jaden's here when Jaden is here in the studio. But for now, let's head back trackside to Jaden as we build up for qualifying.
Thank you very much, Omi. I'm sure we are very excited to start qualifying. Thank you again for the tour around the studio, and let's now get qualifying on the way. Well, welcome along everyone here for qualifying, second time broadcasted this season. We're still in USA, but we moved from Austin to Chicago instead. You will be able to take pole position and try to get the 25 points. Question answered today here in about 34 minutes, but either way, you saw F2 earlier was exciting and a bit controversial for some drivers. But other than that, we moved from F2 earlier and we moved on to Formula 1 instead, which I'm hoping will be an exciting race and hopefully exciting qualifying as well. Currently, obviously a custom track here in Chicago, so it should be more interesting as we haven't raced around here for about 2 years. But other than that, we still the driver's still gonna try find the track and find whatever racing lines around this track to try and get the fastest lap. Currently Harrison, he's our current champion of this season, but he is still looking to try and extend the gap as much as he can. Pretty much what Verstappen did in 2023, does not care. But now we are all getting ready here for Formula 1 around Chicago. Turn 1 will be quite interesting. Down the main straight, quite like very long straight to be fair, down towards turn 1. And well, I'm sure we're gonna see some overtakes, maybe dive bombs by maybe Powell. We have seen Powell have the greatest starts in F1. We saw him last round take the lead down towards turn number 1 immediately. So it will be interesting to see if he can get a good start once again, try and take the lead down towards turn number 1, and if he can, I mean, Harrison does have the extra speed, so I'm sure he will maybe take it back, but we're gonna have to see. Turn 1, very tight exit as well, lots of extra curve, and then we obviously have bridge as well, and I'm hoping we see some overtakes there by the F1 drivers today. And as now we're gonna cut to the track. Yep, we are gonna cut to the track, and we are on board. Well, we are watching Harrison currently. His teammate is currently on full wet, which I'm not sure why. Teammate currently fastest through the corners, so he will have a advantage through turn number 3 and maybe turn number 2 as well, and a couple corners as to be fair. As we now go onto the track, green light in the pit lane as Harrison and Powell, the two McLaren teammates, tending to see who will take pole position and get a good start. This is the tight turn 1 that I was talking about. It is quite tight, so it'll be interesting to see if anyone will go wheel to wheel there, and if yes, he will be in front as we go over the bridge, and flying already goes Harrison and Powell. Powell nearly losing it in the background, but let's ride on board with Harrison firstly. Obviously our champion this season. Oh, he's on 2 tires and he's off. He is off. Let's actually watch Powell instead. On his first lap, I'm sure it won't be his greatest lap, but we're still gonna ride on board with him. Let's see what he can produce on his first flying lap. He's already gone down towards turn number 1. He's gone a bit wide. What about Harrison in the background? Nearly similar racing lines. But through turn number 3, which I said that Powell has an advantage, he has more speed throughout the corners and flying, literally going airborne. He is 7 tenths down through the first sector currently. But I'm sure we are going to see improvements throughout, and Harrison just slightly off to Powell and through, and he's backed out of the lap time. He's entered the pit lane right outside commentary box. Let's watch Harrison currently. Let's go on board with him. What can he produce on his second flying lap? 44.419 is what he set. I'm sure that was yeah. But he can continue on between the two McLarens, fastest through the first sector, flying over the bridge, which I'm sure we're gonna see many times. We are going to see many times throughout this session. Yeah, Harrison's not the fastest through the second sector. So Powell, I did say after turn number 2, Powell will have advantage, but Harrison extends his advantage by only about 1 second. So a bit shocking there for him. Let's watch Pal as he is about to start his lap time. Let's see what he will be able to produce. Will he be able to respond back to Harrison, or will he have to sit back like he has been doing for pretty much the whole ever since he has joined McLaren and when he was in other teams? As we do have a timer, I did forget to put that on once again. But Power's wide and he's hit the barrier. Power trying to put a lap in. Oh, we obviously had F2 earlier. F1, they haven't had much practice around here, so it's pretty much their first time practicing with the updates. They're gonna have to get used to it. But other than that, Harrison is fastest through the first sector. Not really a good lap. What about Powell? Will he be able to at least do something in this second attempt this time? We can see his teammate is somewhere. He is right there. There he is. Well, down towards turn number 1. Powell's gonna have to try find the right braking zone. Harrison currently going faster through the first sector. What about second sector? Not. He's a bit off. He is well off. He's about a few tenths behind on his fastest second sector. But we continue on and flying and hitting the trees is Powell. That is not what you want, especially going over the bridge. But he'll continue on in valid lap time, so he's gonna go once again. Only a few drivers on the track. Logo is here as well. He's just outside on the fast lane, as we see Harrison just flying over there, over the bridge. But we continue on down towards turn number 1. We go with Powell once again. He's got 25 minutes, so not too much pressure for him to try and take pole position away from Harrison. But we go through turn number 2, which I said once again, but Powell has an advantage. Over the bridge we go, nearly on 2 wheels. Well, was on 2 wheels. But we continue on. What's the second sector looking like? He is nearly matching his best. Through the last 2 corners we go now. What is going on? Why is Logo on the track? And I'm sure we might need to red flag the session or something. Actually right on board. Yeah, we are gonna have to red flag because he's just on the track. There's someone walking on the track. Yeah, it's gonna be a red flag if we do get the flags out. Where is the red flag? Yep, it is a red flag. We've got someone on the track currently, which is unsafe, and it is a driver, so he might be investigated. Will be investigated actually, but yeah, not sure what on earth is going on there. Currently, it's very strange. We haven't really seen him walk on the track randomly. As that is Pal, going out and he hitting the trees. But yeah, very strange. To be fair, let's hear from Pal.
Yeah, that was close. I mean, I'm just on the race line and he's just sat there. I don't know what he's doing.
We do hear from Pal saying it was dangerous. It is indeed very dangerous. It was a red flag immediately, and I'm sure FIA will look into that as the qualifying session will go back to green flag conditions in about a minute's time. 12:08 is the time, so these drivers can just wait there until it is 12:08, until the light is green. But other than that, Powell's still trying to find a lap time to contend with pole position. Harrison currently with a 43.681, and the 2 McLarens are going wheel to wheel in the pit lane. I'm sure we've seen wheel to wheel. We saw pretty much 3 or 4 wide in Formula 2 yesterday for qualifying, and we were going 2 wide with the two McLarens that are trying to look to claim the Constructor Championships tomorrow. Let's see. But other than that, it's the two McLarens still battling, but he will be on top. It's green light, power onto the track, green flag. Currently, power onto the track first, then it's Harrison, and then Logo, who's still in the pit lane. How slowing up, trying to. He's either not trying to, he is letting his teammate past. As the two teammates over the bridge they go, and how taken just the normal track, normal racing line. But for now, we are gonna go to Omi in the studio. Alright, thank you, Omi.
Yes, absolutely. So here we are then in the studio once again with F1 cars out there on the circuit. It is currently the two McLarens, of course. You have Powell, you have Harrison. Those two are out there on the circuit. We've seen their efforts. We are now about to get another driver, this time from a different team. Logo, a driver who was annoyed coming into this week when he found out earlier today that he hasn't got the updates on the car. His team boss electing not to get any updates this weekend, and it means that he comes into this week with the exact same car that he had last week after Alfa Romeo basically could have had a package this weekend that could have put them on terms with McLaren, if not even better. But also, off the road, we have Harrison going off and he'll continue on. So that is Sir Harrison McLaren making his way through, letting Logo back through as well. But yes, absolutely. So that's majorly disappointing. But the problem for them was the budget. Now, the reason why they couldn't go all in, first of all, the reason why there were a few doubts in the first place was because of budget. Basically, we found ourselves in a situation where Alfa Romeo were going to go over the budget cap and they would have been disqualified. One team has already had that. Their name is Haas. The man in your picture, Sir Harrison McLaren, he was the team boss at the time. The drivers were Bella, the drivers were Logo, and they all had to, of course, move out of Haas, and it meant, of course, that they were disqualified. And that was the simple thing. Soon as the budget was introduced, it's been a thing that has been said. If you cannot stay in it, it is going to be a disqualification. No other ways about it. Alfa Romeo were facing that. However, luckily, they gave their updates in pretty early, of course. They kept doubting it a lot as well. And it meant that the calculations were done pretty early, which I think went in their favor quite a bit. Or if not, then they would have found themselves disqualified, just like Haas were as well. So that is a really, really critical thing as the field continues to make their way through around this circuit here for Formula 1 qualifying. But I think that's definitely something to consider for all of the teams still about the budget cap. Okay, so that's the story on the budget cap. That is why Alfa Romeo find themselves with no updates this weekend. So they still have the same car that they did last week. Back over to you, Jaden.
Thank you very much, Omi. As we continue on board with Power, he comes into pits for new tires. We were talking, Omi was talking about the budget cap. About Alfa Romeo. Obviously, haven't been able to get upgrades. They won't be able to attempt to try and fight against the McLarens, the dominant McLarens, I should say, instead. As Power goes on to full wets. But did forget to say this. Haas have been disqualified earlier this season with very late news. Not Pal, Haas have been disqualified for or going over the budget cap. So won't be able to fight anymore, obviously. But we still continue on here in Chicago. Move over onto more interesting stuff. Onto qualifying. Hopefully it will be interesting. How on full wets. Let's see what he can do, as Logo is a bit about 2 seconds uh slower than Power currently. Let's actually ride on board with Logo. He did walk onto the track, which caused the red flag. Will be investigated. He did invalidate that lap. Continue on throughout. Last corner would have been an improvement, but instead is invalidated. Last sector was an improvement. That's right on board with Power. He's on a slow lap, and as we ride on board with him, he spins into the trees. He goes, and it's not really working out for him currently. But he still continues on. Yellow flags out momentarily, but we still continue on. He's not impeded anyone's lap, which is good. But he still continues on. Full wets maybe not working for him. Goes wide. Ooh. Half spin there for Power. Really struggling with these tires. I'm sure he's gonna have this switch soon. He hasn't validated that lap. About 2 seconds off Harrison's invalidated sector 1. We continue through. I'm sure he's gonna pit soon. Well, he's gone wide. This is part of the circuit which you do not want to go wide. It will really affect you. But in Formula 2 it really does. As we see Logo go wide in the background. Let's ride on board with him for his first lap. Logo actually not that far off from Pal, unless Pal is still trying to find a good enough lap time to try to close in the gap to Logo. Logo's gone wide, he's hit the barrier, and I'm sure it'll be invalidated this time. But the two McLarens currently in the background, very close to each other. Logo over the bridge, flying over the bridge. With 16 minutes to go, improvement through the second sector for Logo. What can he do as he comes round the final corner? Harrison is currently going quickest through the second sector. Logo over the line. Logo invalidates that lap time, unfortunately. Let's ride on board. And off goes Harrison, and it will be a yellow flag through the through sector 3. As he's gonna try and get back onto the track. There's no drivers on nearby, I believe, so he can continue on. Green flags again, but that has affected his lap time. He went decent through the first sector, purple through the second, and unfortunate for him through the third sector. Down towards turn number 1. Can he try and at least extend it advantage? We haven't really seen proper lap times. We saw the grip here in Formula 2 was not there for many drivers. And Power is stopped, and Harrison going on 2 wheels like he did at the start of the session. So this will be interesting in the full race. I'm sure it will be exciting. Everyone flying over the bridge, everyone going wide through the last corner, and well, I'm sure we will be getting an interesting race tomorrow. As Harrison through turn number 1, he was turning too early, goes wide. Power in the background takes it normally Through turn number 3 we go now. And over the bridge we go with Harrison. And, ooh, just flying. Be interesting to see who will be able to overtake over the bridge. If anyone does, we obviously the best overtake this season. Final corner goes Harrison, looking to extend his advantage near the wall. Down the main straight he goes now. Past the commentary box, and he does not improve. So everyone really is struggling to try and find an improvement currently and try to get ahead. Everyone set one lap at the start and no one's really improved after that. Let's watch Loco as he's looking to try and close the gap between him and Powell. Off the line, not an improvement. Harrison is going kind of fast through the first sector as he comes down the last two corners. It's looking good for him and he goes wide once again. Wide goes Harrison, yellow flags will be out. Powell's gonna have to slow up and will really cost his lap time as he was looking to try and find improvement. Logo's going faster, not fastest, he's finding his personal best through the first sector, not really improving through the second. He's gone wide, which I think he's trying to use for his waistline. He's hit the barrier. He has hit the barrier trying to look for improvement, but he still crosses the line and it is not an improvement. So hitting the barrier really did cost him, as you literally just saw Powell literally just looking downwards as he went over, flying over the bridge. Powell trying to find improvement. Through the last corner he goes, and he's gone wide as well. So that curb really not suiting for any drivers currently. We've seen Powell go wide, we've seen Harrison go wide, we've seen Logo taking a different line and hitting the barrier. As we see the two good friends going wheel to wheel, not wheel to wheel, close up. Into the pits comes Logo. Let's watch Harrison as he crosses the line. He does not find improvement. They're all still trying to find improvement. Very close currently between the second and third. Wide goes Harrison, taking different racing lines. I did say before we actually got underway that drivers are gonna be finding different racing lines to try and find a good lap. We see Harrison going wide, and that is Powell spinning. And Harrison surely gonna have to slow down a bit. Was the yellow flags, but green flags anyway. Not improvement through the second. He takes a different racing line now, and he's flipped. Harrison has flipped, trying to take what his friend, his best friend, was taking. Copied him on his fast lap, and he's flipped round. We see Logo now coming up. He's hit the barrier or hit the trees. He's gonna have to, well, that lap is ruined for him anyway. But those last two corners really is, well, don't know what to say. Those last two corners might bring us lots of action, to be fair. Let's wide and pull with power as, oh, flip right, and right as, wow, what is going on here in Chicago qualifying? Drivers going wide, drivers flipping and everything. I haven't seen this for a while. I'm sure it'll be an interesting race coming up tomorrow. Let's ride on both. Let's hear from Powell.
Yeah, whatever I do, if I break on the bridge, I still flip. If I just drive normally, I flip. If I go third gear, I still flip. It's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous for says Powell, and I'm sure other drivers can agree with him. As you go through turn number 1, they all take the wide line now. Let's see what Powell can do through the second sector. First sector. Now we are approaching the second sector. Logo just going 4 tenths faster. Harrison going faster. They're all close on the track currently. But I think Harrison has backed out of that. Power going personal best through the second sector, not improvement. Through the first sector, he crosses the line now, and it's a validation, and he would have not gone faster anyway. So drivers really are struggling through the last two corners. And I'm sure, well, as a commentator, I'm sure we do hope that we do get some excitement. Powell going personal best through the first sector, logo as well. So maybe now these drivers are finding some time, not an improvement through the second sector, nearly on two wheels. When he comes round the final corner, he's still trying to find a decent lap to try to close in the gap. Pow! On the main straight, he's going to cross the line now, and it's an improvement to 45.0. Logo in the background makes it 2 tenths between him and Pow. So improvements are coming in now. 8 minutes and 42 seconds on the clock until qualifying does end. Powell's still trying to find improvement. What about Logo? Can he find improvement? No, he's only about 1/10 away from his personal best. Powell find improvement through the second sector. What can he do through this through these last two corners? Down the main straight he goes. Can he close the margin between him and House even more? No, he cannot. What about Logo? Can he try and close in? No, he cannot. So, only improvement throughout that short period there. House is still trying to find an improvement. Still hasn't. How? Over the bridge. Airborne like we've seen many drivers do. He's now approaching the second last corner. Then it's the final corner. Taking different racing lines. Round the final corner, down the main straight. Can he close the advantage? No, he cannot. Let's watch. Harrison, as his friend, Logo, does go wide. Harrison over the line, and he extends his advantage for a 43.344. So he's still in the 43s. Power still maybe has a chance as Logo hits the barrier. He's gonna have to get out of the way. 6 minutes, less than 7 minutes left until the end of qualifying. Powell has backed out of that lap. But we continue on. Harrison trying to find improvement once again. He comes round the final corner. Now, can Sir Harrison McLaren try and extend his advantage for 2 laps in a row? He crosses the line and it is not an improvement. Let's go on board with Powell for 1 lap and let's see what he can do. And, well, I'm sure we are going to see on the timetable whether we will see any improvements. Harrison was going fastest. It was invalidation for him. What about Powell? He goes over the bridge. 21.731 for him. As you see, Logo going on 2 wheels in the background. Less than 6 minutes left. Powell, personal best through the second sector. He's gone a bit wide. And he has gone wide. He has gone very wide. And Logo might need to back out of that. Yellow flag through the third sector. Currently, Logo crosses line now. Not an improvement there for him. Harrison does pit as we go on to the final stages of this qualifying station here in Chicago. And I'm sure there is still improvements to find for these drivers. Logo versus Powell. Currently 2 tenths separate both of them. I'm sure he's going fast, not fast, he's getting a personal best through the second sector. Around the corner, he's hit the barrier. Logo has hit the barrier. personal best through the second sector, trying to get all the track, leaving pretty much no space between him and the barrier. I find improvement. But you see Power in the background. I'm sure Harrison is somewhere as well. Through time number 1 we go with Logo. He's got invalidation currently. What about Power? Let's ride on ball with Power. I'm sure Logo will need to move out of the way soon. For Power over the bridge. 20.921, so a decent second sector for him. Through the second sector we go now. He's looking to either take pole position away from his teammate, or he is trying to extend the advantage from him and Logo. Currently 2 attempts between him and Logo. Power crosses the line, not an improvement for him. Let's have a ride on board with Harrison, who is trying to look to extend the advantage, and he's on 2 wheels, nearly flipping around. That is his lap ruined. Let's watch Pow again. Over the bridge, wolf flying. Pow does actually control the car better than Harrison over the bridge. Through second sector, not really good second sector for him. But around the final corner it goes Pow. Onto the main straight, we see the Alfa Romeo and McLaren down towards turn number 1. And let's actually go on board with Logo, as these two both, Logo on full vets, trying the full vets. Let's see what that'll do for him, whether it will actually get him ahead of Pow, or whether he can at least take pole position. Alfa Romeo, as Omi did say, as he's hit the barrier, that will affect the start of his lap time. Omi did say before that when we added it to him, that Alfa Romeo had to be careful with the budget. They did not get upgrades. So imagine Logo's pace with the upgrades. I'm sure he would have been ahead of Pow, maybe even fighting for pole position. We continue on. Let's ride on board with Harrison, who's had a good, and flipping round is Harrison. Just as we cut to him, he was on 2 wheels. He flips round, and it is going to have to be a yellow flag as Powers hit the wall. That's his lap ruined, and nearly hit the back of his teammate as well. Logo was invalidation. Nearly going off the map. Really exciting, as there is less than 2 minutes left. These drivers are gonna have to find whatever there is. Logo gets 2 more laps left. I'm sure every driver, when they cross the line now, will get 2 more laps left. Logo goes a bit wide. He's hit the barrier. That's his first lap ruined. Let's go with Pow, who's the second driver to cross the line. Down towards turn number 1 we go. Logo's still gonna try to find some time, I'm sure. Through turn number 3 we go over the bridge. Power going slightly quicker than his last lap, and he nearly flips as well. Let's go on board with Harrison, who is trying to fully take it away from everyone else. He's already fully taken away, but can he extend his advantage as we go on to the last lap for these drivers? Maybe the last lap, if they do not flip. Logo, I believe he gets another extra 2 laps. No, he's pitted, so this will be his last lap. If he can get over the line, he's gonna have to corner cut everywhere, unless he cannot make it to the line. Through turn number 1 we go now with Harrison. Turn number 3 now. Power's invalidated, so can Power get to the line? He's cutting every corner there is. 15 seconds. Pressure is on for Power when there is about 10 seconds left into the checkered flag. Can he get to the line quick enough? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And he's not made it over the line. That is unfortunate for him. Harrison has not made it over the line either. and logo spins around. But that is pretty much it for qualifying, as we are gonna go to the podium, near the podium, and get interviews from these drivers. But it is Harrison on pole position. Power makes it a 1-2 after having lots of pressure from a logo in Alfa Romeo. But let's actually go down towards the drivers. Let's now. Here is Power, here is Logo, and here comes Harrison now. To first position, he's first in the championship. He's been first throughout the season in not only qualifying but also the race. He's first once again here in qualifying. But we are gonna go from third to first, unless anyone wants to do interview right now and cut in front of Logo. This Logo, not sure when Logo has joined. Logo is gonna have an interview with us. Hello, Logo. How's that qualifying session for you?
Very, very poor. I think everyone was poor. It's not great at the minute.
The gap between you and Power is about less than 2 attempts. Do you think if you actually kept the car, if you actually found the right lap, do you think you're able to get ahead of Power?
That is, yeah, you have to find the right lap. It's just difficult to find the right lap, and that's why I'm behind him. Reed did a better lap, or Power did a better lap, and yeah, I'm behind him, so I have to fight my way through.
Yep, indeed. Obviously, no upgrades for you. I'm sure if you did have upgrades, you think you'd be able to contend for pole position.
Oh, definitely. I think Shan, bit of a throwing for the team there a bit, not getting the upgrades in time, even though I asked him last Monday, I think. So I think, yeah, a bit of a throw there. But yeah, you're going to have to live with it.
Yep, indeed. Thank you very much, Logo, and good luck for the race start tomorrow.
Thank you.
Next up is Pal. Hello, Pal.
Hello.
How's that session for you?
In one simple word, shit.
Thank you very much. But obviously the gap between you and Logo is quite close. Did you feel any pressure when you're trying to find a lap time, good enough lap time? Try to extend the
No,
run?
I was more focusing on the bridge. You know, I know Logo was close, but I was also trying to improve. And you know, I heard Logo say you have to find the right lap, and you know it's impossible with the bridge and the pace of these cars. You're just flying over at this point.
Yep, indeed. Obviously we've seen your great starts in the past. Do you think you'll be able to get a great start once again and take the lead towards turn number 1?
Yeah, well, that's the plan. I've got to try and follow it. But then the start needs to be also perfected at the bridge as well, because that's going to be the main point of the race, the last corners at the bridge. So the start isn't really important for me. I think it's going to be just trying to keep the car on the track.
Yep, indeed, and thank you very much and good luck
Thank you.
tomorrow. Next up is our 2-time world champion, still trying to get even more points. It's Harrison.
Hello.
How's that session for you?
I think it was full of ups and downs, really. Many just messed up laps, many mistakes, but at the same time there was constant. They were very good, decent laps. So race pace looks pretty good, setting constant 44.2s roughly. But then the random fast lap pops up every now and again.
Yep, indeed, it just seemed like that everyone was struggling out there. Do you think you'll be able to? Do you think you're going to struggle in the race?
I think going into tomorrow, I think we're going to take more of a measured strategy and maybe go a bit more conservative on the bridge and the risky areas, because mistakes is what's going to cause the winner to win in tomorrow. But I think I have the pace to do it anyway.
Yep, indeed. You've had the pace throughout the season, and I'm sure you'll be able to try and take the win tomorrow. Thank you very much. That is it. That is it for qualifying here in Chicago, and I'm sure tomorrow it will be an interesting race around here. We saw in qualifying everyone was struggling for grip, well, not really grip, but everyone was struggling to find a good enough lap time. But let's see tomorrow who will be able to win. I'm sure we might get a shocking shock. Come join us tomorrow as we start the